Good day, everyone, and good day, Ma'am Ana Manaline Kalaskusin. Today, I will be discussing about innovations in teaching practices, specifically focusing on differentiated instruction and project-based learning. These two approaches are part of Unit 4, the pedagogical approaches, technology integration, and community leadership. Under the course Ed 3 or 4, the teacher and community, school, culture, and organizational leadership. This topic is highly relevant in today's Philippine educational setting because classrooms are becoming more diverse and teachers are now expected to respond effectively to the different needs of learners. Now, before we start with our discussion, let us first read our learning objectives. At the end of the discussion, students will be able to analyze the differences between differentiated instruction and project-based learning, explain how these approaches address learner diversity, and demonstrate appreciation for inclusive education. Now, why teaching innovation is necessary in the contemporary Filipino classroom? The traditional one-size-fits-all or teacher-centered approach is no longer effective. A one-size-fits-all approach assumes that all students learn in the same way at the same time, and the same pace, and with the same level of ability. However, in reality, students differ in many ways, such as reading ability, language background, motivation, and learning style. Because of these differences, innovative teaching practices are necessary. Innovation in teaching means moving away from passive learning and shifting towards student-centered methodologies that promote active engagement, inclusivity, and real-life application of skills. Now, for the differentiated instruction, it is commonly referred to as DI, is a proactive pedagogical approach where teachers intentionally adjust their teaching methods, materials, and activities to suit the diverse needs of learners. Instead of expecting students to adjust to a fixed curriculum, differentiated instruction adjusts the curriculum to the students according to the students. Now, according to Mitchell and Sutherland, this approach is evidence-based and essential for inclusive education. The differentiated instruction recognizes that students vary in their readiness, which refers to their current skill or level, interests, which affect motivation, and learning profiles, which include preferred learning styles and strengths. For the dimensions of differentiated instruction, there are three main dimensions of differentiated instruction. First is content, which refers to what students learn or how they access information. Teachers may provide simplified text, visuals, or translated key terms. Second is process, which refers to how students make sense of the lesson. This may include flexible grouping, peer tutoring, or hands-on activities. Third is product, which refers to how students demonstrate their learning. Students may express understanding through written work, oral presentations, or creative outputs. These dimensions ensure that learning is equitable and accessible to all students. Examples of differentiated instruction in the Filipino classroom is that differentiated instruction can be implemented in simple and cost-effective ways. For example, students with reading difficulties may be given graphic organizers or simplified text, while advanced learners analyze the original material. In mathematics, some learners may use concrete materials such as shells or stones, while others solve abstract word problems. For performance tasks, students may be allowed to choose between writing an essay, creating a TikTok advocacy video, or composing a poem. This flexibility allows students to showcase learning based on their strengths. Now, for the project-based learning or PBL is a learner-centered approach where students gain knowledge and skills by actively exploring real-world problems and challenges. Unlike traditional instruction that focuses on memorization, project-based learning emphasizes inquiry, collaboration, and application of knowledge. In the Philippine context, project-based learning serves as a framework behind performance tests, also known as PETA, which are used to assess higher-order thinking skills. Now, there are essential elements of project-based learning. Now, according to Boss and Cross, effective project-based learning includes several essential elements. It begins with a challenging problem or question, usually based on a real-life issue. Students then engage in sustained inquiry, where they ask questions, research information, and develop solutions. Project-based learning must be authentic, meaning the task is connected to real-world context, such as solving a barangay problem. And students are given voice and choice, allowing them to make decisions about their projects. Reflection, critique, revision, and the creation of a public product complete the process. Now, there are roles of the teacher in project-based learning. Now, there are roles of the teacher in project-based learning. The role of the teacher changes significantly. Instead of being the sole source of knowledge, the teacher acts as facilitator, coach, and guide. Students take greater responsibility for their learning while teachers support, monitor progress, and provide feedback. This shift encourages independence, collaboration, and deeper understanding. Now, when integrating differentiated instruction and project-based learning, are most effective when used together. Project-based learning provides a shared goal or mission, such as solving a community problem. On the other hand, differentiated instruction ensures that each learner can participate meaningfully in the project. In this sense, project-based learning can be seen as the outer structure, while differentiated instruction acts as the inner support system that allows all learners to succeed. Now, in Filipino values and deepened alignment, these approaches aligned with important deepened policies. Now, in DepEd Order number 42 mandates differentiation in daily lesson preparation, while DepEd Order number 8 emphasizes performance-based assessment. More importantly, differentiated instruction and project-based learning reflect Filipino values, such as pagkalinga or care for learners, and bayanihan or collective responsibility. Through these values, learning becomes inclusive and community-centered. Inclusive education requires equity, not sameness. Differentiated instruction and project-based learning allow teachers to design learning experiences that are fair, relevant, and meaningful. Innovation in teaching is not about technology. It is about mindset, empathy, and commitment to every learner. Once again, I am Sean Verances, your reporter. Thank you for listening.